Nigeria used to be a great country. We used to be a great country, like the giant of Africa. We used to be everything. But now, how are the mighty falling? How are the mighty falling? Yes, we're highly under-militarized. Every day, you hear that 200 people have been unalived in one state, 20 people unalived, 30 people unalived. That's the story every other day. That's the story every other day. I'm not supposed to be talking about Nigerian issues. I'm a stand-up comedian, but the issues are too many. How long are you going to keep short and watch your people die? You have to speak. You have to speak. Because it is getting out of hand. To make matter worse, 200 persons died in Makurdi. Tinubu went on a visit. The next day, they hit Plateau. 20-something people. Today is Borno, female suicide bomber. 10 people dead, 14 people injured. That's the story every other day. We are highly under-militarized. Highly under-militarized. They recruit. They say terrorists that surrenders. They recruit them back into the military. Have you heard about that before? Bring terrorists into the military. How do you stop terrorism? Terrorism gets bigger every day in the country. And we have our combatants who are the military. We are they are small in number. How many military men do we have? How many army do we have? How many police do we have? Not to talk about the ones that are guarding the political officials, the Yahoo boys, and those other boys, those other people that can afford them. They all have military people guarding them when they should be in the forest, when they should be in the war front, fighting terrorism. But what do we get? Nigeria that is under-militarized. You are sending people to Gambia for peacekeeping. To Gambia for peacekeeping. Gambia. Have you ever heard of Gambia in the news? On the news for terrorism? Have you heard Gambia in the news that there's terrorism? Gambia enjoys relative peace. Gambia enjoys relative peace. But Nigeria, where there's terrorism, Nigeria, where terrorist attacks is here and there, is recruiting and sending military to Gambia, where there's relative peace. I don't know. It's worrisome. Sometimes you may want to think, if the people who are in charge of the affairs in Nigeria, if they are really okay. Because if Nigeria were to be in the hands of youths, let me say 45 years downwards or 50 years downwards, and we are taking these decisions, what would the 75 and 80 years, what would you say? What would you say? You would say we are irresponsible people. You would say we are misleading this country. What do you want us, we that are on the other side of the clock, 50 and downwards, 45 downwards, what do you want us to say to you? Because we are confused. We even need, Nigeria need more hands. Nigeria even need all African countries to bring like 1,000 military to help us combat terrorism in Nigeria. There's headsmen everywhere, unaliving people. Unaliving people everywhere, every day. If it's not in Kaduna, it's in Jos. If it's not in Jos, it's in the Plateau. If it's not in the Plateau, it's in Benue. If it's not in Benue, it's in Borno. If it's not in Borno, it's in Enugu. All over the place. All over the place. All over the place. Then the ones that surrenders, the government recruit them and put them back into the military. How does this end? How does it end? Because you bring the enemy into your camp. How does it end? We are still looking for situations on how to tackle this, because this is a menace in our society. We are still looking for how to tackle this. How to tackle this, which is a big problem. But instead, we that are under militarized, you are sending 197 military men to Gambia who have relative peace compared to Nigeria, so that we will be exposed. Yes, so that we'll be exposed. So what are you trying to tell me? That I should run? Because I cannot even defend myself. Because the last guy that tried to defend himself, he was sentenced to death. So I should run. Okay, what happens if, for example, the military man you sent to Gambia, what if he receives a distress call that your family has been attacked by terrorists? What would be the cause? For example, if the military man you sent out, if he receives a distress call that Officer James, they just attack your family house, they kill your wife, they kill your children, they unalive your mama, they unalive your papa, they unalive your children. What would be his state down there? What are we doing? What went wrong? What happened to Nigeria? Who did this to us? Nigeria used to be a great nation, but now it's only individualism, individual play that helps Nigeria. You would hear, oh, this Nigerian did this abroad. Okay, this Nigerian did this. This set of Nigerian did this. This group of Nigerian did this. That is the recent glory that we have. Anything besides that, zero. Leadership, zero. So how do you guys sit down to decide on issues like this? How?